All right. Hello everyone. Very good evening for all students here. Fine. Let's start the session, guys. Okay. So, what did we do at last class? So, where did we stop? Hmm? Where did we stop, guys? So, I think we were working on one website called oppo.com. We had stopped there itself. Okay. So, one block after the one block. Okay. We were one block after one block we were continuing. Okay, and we have successfully created some of the block. We have duplicated some of the block. Okay, let's go. Let me share my screen. So first thing is first, am I audible, guys? Am I audible clearly, and is my screen visible? Please do reply in the chat box. So am I audible? Fine. So if you take a look at my screen, this was the yesterday code which we were trying. Okay. So we were writing the code in order to replicate oppo.com. So let me open it again. Come here, come to Google, and yep, it was oppo.com. Okay. Today there is no lagging and all right. So I hope my voice is clearly audible to you guys and even the screen is visible clearly. Fine. Okay. So until where we have replicated, we started with a first box here. The first one is this Oppo official website, then followed by Oppo store, then followed by this image we have put, and then four blocks also we have created, and finally we created one of these, that is this block. Then we also created this flash sale end, and now we needed to create these blocks, right? We needed to create these blocks. So in such, let me go to my Visual Studio and let me go to my file and host that page. Let's see. So session on web tag, it was a session 4.5. Okay, so this was our original website which we have done, and this is our website. And if I come down, this is what we have created. Okay, so let me open that and scroll down. This is what we have created until here. So if I open it, yes. Okay, until flash sale and ends in this section, day, hours, and minutes section we have created successfully. And another block we needed to create, that is these three blocks, that is image and this heading and this particular inside one div and this rate. Okay, so this block again we need to, what we need to do, we need to create it, we need to put the image, and we need to put all those things in single div, and then like that only we need to create three div, and we need to place side by side. Okay, we need to do this, but we will not do that today. Why? Because we know how to do it already, right? So we can create all this, and when it comes to alignment, we know how to use margin and padding, and using those two properties we can align anything, right? We can align anything. So in that case, what I will do, we have another approach, a easier one, that is flexbox and grid. Okay, in order to align the items like this, we can use HTML flexbox and HTML grid. According to your convenience, you can make use of any of those CSS properties. But the problem is we still haven't learned how to use them, how to create them, how to apply them, right? So because of that, first let's learn how to use them. Okay, then we will come to this section back, and then we will create this elements. Okay, until then, what we will do, we will skip on to the next topic, and we will go on getting updated in terms of knowledge in HTML, CSS, that is, a knowledge in web technologies. Is that fine? Okay, so right now we exactly know how to create it and how to align it using margin and padding property, but we will be using another easy one. First, we will learn that easy method, and then we will come here and we will align, right? Okay, okay. So next, let's see what is the next concept. So come back here, come back to the Visual Studio. All right, so come back to the Visual Studio and then open a new file. I will tell it as, so what is the number of the session today? What is the number of the session? Is it 7 or 8? I know what session is this. I'm just testing you. Okay, so what is the number of the session? Which session is this? Is this 7 or is this 8? Let me see. Any replies in a comment box? So I hope you remember what is the session number. I think session number is 9. This is the ninth day of our internship. Okay, so 8, yes, according to what I have taken, this is the 8th session. But if you take overall internship, this is the ninth session, right? Okay, so from 4 directly, let me skip to 9. Session 9.html. Session 9.html, and let me say HTML5. Create a basic template. Create a basic template, and let's start coding and save. According to the video, it is 9. Okay, okay, fine. All right. So what is next? Okay. So now today we will okay. So today what we will be coding is we will learn about a very important concept, that is, in a heading I will say HTML forms. HTML forms. Okay. So what is that? We will be creating a forms. Okay, we will be creating the forms. So why this forms is used, what is the use of the forms, that we will find out later. But what is the main purpose is, see here, let me go to any website. Okay, suppose this is a Oppo website. Let me take an example of this only. So if you want to search any particular product, okay, or if you want to search about this particular website, or if you want to search any audio devices on oppo.com, so what you will do, you will come here, click on the search button, right, and I will say cell phones. I will say cell phones, and I will hit enter. Okay, how would you rate your experience? So that means, see here, I am getting another web page. according to the search, according to the search which I have given in the search box, I am getting a corresponding output. Getting, I am getting a corresponding output. So again, I have a search here. Let me say audio. Okay, and if I hit enter, again one output will come. See, all the audio products is displaying. Okay, that is a normal work of a search box that we already knew, right? That we already knew. What we I'm on what basis I'm making a point is how is it taking the input. So this box is taking the input from the user, right? So I am a user. So when you develop your own application, okay, when you develop your own application, you will be the developer, and as a developer, you want more users to use your application. The more the users is, the more the success on that application. That is a main purpose why the developers will develop the application, because of the users, because to do the business, right? Same thing. Okay, same thing. That means as a developer, if he has to develop the application, and it should be user friendly, and it is for the users only. More the users, more the success for a developing team, or at the application end for the company or individually, anything. Okay, so it should be always a user friendly, and always it should be helping the user. For suppose, if you take example this oppo.com itself, if you take the example of oppo.com itself, see here this particular website helps the user to buy his own phone, his own audio devices, and his own bluetooth things, anything. Okay, it is helping a user in some way. And if the user wants to buy something, he will come to oppo.com website and he searches here. That is, he has to interact with your particular website, right? If I want to search something, if I want something from this website, I need to interact with this website. How to interact? This is one of a main section where the all the users will interact. That is a search box. Okay, as the user, you call it as a search box, but as a developer, you call it as a input box, or you call it as a input element. Getting? Okay, so this is where the user gives the input. Based on the input given, it will give the output. So if I give an input as oppo pad air, okay, all things about the oppo pad will come, right? So again, so if I say oppo a16, if I give an input as oppo a16, according to what I have given, oppo a16 product has been displayed. Okay, so based on what the user will give the input here, based on that the output will be displayed. That is a purpose of a search button. Now what I'm telling is, see, as a developer, you should also work on this search bars. As a developer, you should also work work on these search bars. How? Okay, we have a separate tag called input tag. Okay, we have a separate tag called input tag. And one more thing, so this input tag is called a form elements. Okay, this input tag is called a form element. Why? Because it comes under the form elements under HTML. In HTML, we have separately one section, that is form section, or a concept called form elements. Under that form elements, the input tag will come. So the input tag helps you to build the inputs like this. Okay, that is in order to in order in if the user wants to take the input, it will helps the user to take any input. In this case, you were searching something, or see here, in some cases it will be in a form of buttons also. Okay, here see, available now, not this. Let me go downside. Okay, there were some sections, one after the other, right, that we needed to build, but we have postponed it. Where is it? Okay, here, see, this claim now is one button. Okay, this claim now is one button, right? So again, user is giving one kind of input. That is if he wants to climb now, he has to come here and click. That clicking event also is a input for the Oppo website. Okay, so wherever you're taking the input in the website, all those comes under the form elements under HTML. They are called HTML form elements. Fine. Okay, next, let's see. Now let's write one after the other all the form elements. Okay, let's try out all the form elements in our HTML and CSS. So what are the different form elements, and what are the different CSS property we can give to that form elements, and what are the attributes also. We will learn all these things. What are the attributes which is used on the form elements, because to satisfy all kind of requirement of the website, right? Okay, next, so I will come here. So as I'm telling, from that time we will be learning the form elements. When you're learning form elements, the first tag you need to open is the first tag you need to open is form tag itself. Okay, so Shanmuka has asked a doubt how to insert div tag and anchor tag. So where you have to insert, Sumukla? Sorry, Shanmuka. So do you want to insert a anchor tag inside div? So you can insert anchor tag inside div, right? Inside div, any tag you can give, but you cannot insert the div tag inside the anchor tag. That is not allowed. Okay, you can insert any tag including the anchor tag inside the div tag. Fine. Okay, so when we are coding any project, or if any scenario like that arises, we will come to know how can we work with those two. Okay, so for now let's focus on the form elements and proceed. Okay, okay, now, so what is this? So we have a form elements. So let me show you one. So at the end of the session, we will build a form element like this. Is it okay? See, so many things are there which comes under a form element. Okay, so many things are there which comes under a form elements. One of them is One of them is input. Along with the input, so many select tag, option tag, radio button. So many things are there to build and to check it out. Okay, so all these new tags, we will build it now one by one. Okay, and we will understand how exactly it will work. Okay, Okay, so now you need to come to the new page. You need to come to the, you need to create a new document in the Visual Studio, and then we will continue. Okay, so the first tag, see here, parallel will we will build. The first is at the left side. At the left side, it the first name, and at the right side you have a input box. This is only called input box, which lets you to give any input. Okay, so how to give any input? First, let's create this side. This is nothing but label, guys. What kind of label? It is label to this particular input box. It will, the label suggests what you have to enter inside this input box. Okay, the label suggests what you have to enter inside this input box. Fair enough? Okay, so one by one we will write the tags and we will see the output directly. Done. Okay, so come to your Visual Studio. Come to your Visual Studio. Okay, now, now let me say, as I told, what is this? At left hand side, this will indicate what you have to write here. So in the first input tag, okay, in the first input tag, you need to write the first name. That's what it's telling. In the last input tag, you need to write a last name. So according to that, you need to create them. So I will use a tag called label tag, and I will write the label. What is my label? First name. First name is my label. Okay, so first name is my label. So all the labels should be put inside the label tag. All the in this label. So I will put inside the label tag. Then after labeling, I will open a tag called input tag. Okay, so the type of the tag is text. What do you mean by that? See here, inside the input tag, I have used a attribute called type. Okay, I have used the attribute called type. Fine. So that means what kind of box is this? Okay, so first let's see the output. Then we will see how the output is behaving. Session on the web page, session 9. See now. Okay, see here, I have a one input box and I have one label to that input box. I have label to the input box. The label says you need to enter the first name here. So entering. So in order to do that, this side it is put inside the label tag, and this is a input tag, and it is singleton tag. It is singleton tag. What do you mean by singleton tag? It does not have a closing tag. You open the input tag and just leave it like that, and just leave it like that itself. Fine, fine. Okay. Next, what will come is, so see here, go to that web page. If possible, take the screenshot of this, guys. Okay, so that in a mobile or anywhere, you can compare. You can compare this image with your output, whether you're following in a right direction or not. Okay, I'm also keeping that as a reference. Fine, fine. Okay, next, let's say. Next, I have to say last name and again one input box. So now you know what to type. Okay, so that means what, guys? Look here. So now we need to write a second line. Okay, we need to write a code for the second line. And see, the second line means again we have one label and one input tag. So second line I have to start off with the label itself. Label. What is a label? Second name is a label for my second name is a label for my second input box. Okay, and then we'll say input type is equal to text. Okay, because even in the second line I can put anything I want, right? I can put anything, any text in this section. That's why I am telling type is equal to text itself. I'm telling type is equal to text itself. So now look at the output. Is it looking like this or no? So once you have written the code, save it. Once you have written the code, save, guys. Fine. Okay. Next, let me see our output. So come here, refresh, see, everything is coming side by side. Everything is coming side by side because all these are inline elements. That is, it will not take a new width or it will not start from the new line. Okay, that is a inline element. That is, wherever the space is there, it will take up that space itself. It will not start from a new line, or it will not push any element to the new line. Okay, it will not push. Okay, so how much space that particular tag wants, only that much space it will take. So I will come here, as this is a inline element. Okay, so as this is a inline element, not block level element, these two are side by side. So in order to avoid it, what should I apply, guys? In order to avoid it, what should I apply? In order to send the second name into the next line. Done? Yes. Break tag. Very good. Okay, so I will put a break tag here. Okay, and let's see. I'll come here, refresh. Okay, yes, I'm able to move the input box into the next line. But again, it has just moved into the next line. But see here, these two input boxes are attached. These two input boxes are attached. So I don't want it. BR means after this, whatever after this section, what here is where I have given a break tag. So that means after this input tag, whatever it is, it will be shifted into next line. So what happens if I say another break tag and save? So what happens? So I will come here. I have applied two break tags. I have applied to break tags. Okay, now see the output, guys. See, one break tag, it shifted into next line, and again another break tag, it got shifted into another line. Aram say. So this is how we use a break tag. That is, whenever we want to break that sentence, whenever we want to break that sentence, or if we want to start a new sentence, okay, so we will use a break. That much we knew. Okay, so what's next? Let me go here. So next is date of birth. Okay, next is date of birth, and carefully look out this section once. So you cannot just enter the date of birth like that only. Okay, you should know how exactly it is working. Then he will, right? Okay, so next, what I will do is I will come here, copy this to paste it here. I will say label. I will say label. What is a label? The label is date of birth. The label is date of birth. Okay. Now, what we want is, look at here, guys. How this has been created. See, parallelly to date of birth, parallelly to date of birth, there are three different sections. Okay, there are three different sections. That is, one is day section, one is month section, one is year section. Okay, you cannot select date, year, and month spontaneously. Okay, each one it is having a its own different format. Okay, or each one it is having its own different options. Correct, correct. Okay, so in that case, what I have to do is I will say input, or I don't use a input tag. I will use another form element, guys. Okay, I will use another form element. So what is this another form element? It is a drop down list. Okay, it is a drop down list. So what is this drop down list? That's what it is present here, guys. See, that is, if I click on this day, okay, if I click on this day, continuously there will be a options to choose. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, from 1 to either 31. Okay, 1 to 31 you can select, and here also if I click on month, from January to February, the options will be available. And year, okay, maybe from 90s to 2020 or 2030, I don't know. Okay, some range will be given to year also. But we are talking about how to create this drop down list. Okay, correct. But Shanmuka, you have written a data list. Okay, we are talking about a drop down list. Two things are different. Okay, all right, all right. So, what is next? Let's create it. Okay, let's display it in our output. Okay, so what I will do is, see here, guys. Okay, so label date of birth. Now we will work with how to use a drop down list, and that is also a, what is that? That is also a form element. So I will come down. I will say for date of birth, parallelly give me a select and the option. So let me say for date of birth option is 1. It will go up to 31, right? So I won't be writing all 31, just to get it done, just to understand in a simple way. I will write 5 dates. That is 2, that is 3, that is 4, that is 5. Okay, done. Next, if I refresh, can you see here, guys? See, I can choose anything from a data list. Okay, right now, right now it is from 1 to 5. Right now it is from 1 to 5. But when it comes to day, when it comes to day, the options will be from 1 to 31, right? Normally, but we don't have a time also. It is not necessary also to add all of the options here, but now we know how to add those. So we have added 5 options, that is 1 to 5. Like this only, if you add 30 options, okay, it will be starting from 1 to 30. That is 1 to 30. Fine. So next, so before that, what I will do is I will just say, okay, it's not select. I will a while, or I will put another option. I will say date option. I will say date option. So that if I come here and refresh, it will tell that in this section you need to choose date like this. You need to choose the dates like this, right? Okay, that is one thing. So what is the next thing? So let me go to that image. See here, this is month. Okay, so this is month. So what we will do, I will come here again. I have to make use of a select tag here. Okay, whenever I want to create the drop down list. Okay, whenever I want to create a drop down list, I need to start with a select tag. After select tag, I have a option tag. Okay, after select tag, I will be, we should avail the option. We should make the options available. So what is the option? So for month, maybe the month is done. We don't know. It is possible. Maybe the month is Fab. That is also possible. Maybe the month is March. Month is March. And okay, give me 1 second. Feb, Jan, and March. Okay. Next, in the last option Jan, Feb, March, and April. Okay, like that. How many months are there? Like that, 12 months are there. But right now we don't need it. Okay, it is not necessary. So I will stop at from Jan to April. From Jan to April. So I will save. Okay, already saved. And now, if you look at the output, see, this is Jan. So if I click, I can I can select any one of them. So I will come back here. Let me give another option. Okay, so option is month. Option is month, and I will save. So what's next, guys? So what's next? So if you go and see the output, if I refresh, see, date and month. Okay, date and month are ready. So what's next? Look at the screen. That is next is year. Okay, what is a year? So next, okay, somebody share the link of the past classes. Okay, if it is available with you, please do help out Sam, guys. Okay, you want a past link, it seems. So please do share it with him. Okay, okay. Next, what is left out? Year, right? So again, come here, select tag, open a new select tag. And option. So what should I select? Let me say 2000. Okay, like that only give a four options, four or five. So about this, let's say 2001. Copy, so paste, and last one. Okay, so 2002, 2003, 2004. Okay, so just randomly I have choose the years from 2000 to 2004. Okay, you also select randomly. Fine, guys. Okay, next, what do we want us? Let's see the output, and before that, let the first option be. Let the first option be year and save. So I'll come here. Let's go to the output. If I refresh, see, yes, I'm able to get all three of them. All three of a drop down list. Date, month, and year. Okay, so going good. So now we know how to create this drop downs. Now we know how to create this drop down. So this is right and this is right. Okay, so next what we have to do. So I will come back to my Visual Studio. Okay, I will come back to my Visual Studio. What we need to build again, email ID and mobile number. The next session comes has email ID and mobile number. All right. So I will go here. So again, email ID, which tag I have to use, guys? See here. Here it is saying email ID, and here it is saying input tag. So email ID, which tag should I use for email ID, and which tag should I use in order to create the box? So just now we have done it, guys. So which is the tag? Correct, correct. Okay, so it is label tag. Okay, so why it is used as a label to every input tag, and the label will suggest you or suggest the user or guide the user that what user have to give in that particular input box. Getting guys? So I will save. So next, if I refresh, nothing we have written. So I will say label, I will say email and colon. Next, input tag and what should be the type? So here if you see in first two input box I have given type is equal to text because when it comes to writing a first name it can be anything. Okay, it can be anything. That means it can be alphabets in some games or when you give your email ID or anything. Okay, the name includes alphabets also and the number also, right? And sometimes the special characters also, right? So same thing, to include everything for the first name it is type is equal to text, and other thing to include everything in the second box also. That's why I have a input type is equal to text for both the boxes. So come here, and now it is the turn for the email. It is turn for the email. So for email, we need to give email itself. That is, input type should be email itself. Why, sir? Because email has certain things to be followed. Okay, what are those things? Always, email should be one name and followed by at gmail.com, right? One name should be given and at gmail.com should be given. That means at the rate of gmail.com is very necessary. Otherwise, it won't be a Gmail address only. Okay, so in that case, what we will do is, so we will give email type is equal to email. So I will come here, refresh. It is coming in the single line. So I don't need to make it appear in the single line. So normally how we were using break like that. Two breaks you give, two times you apply break. Okay, and this label will jump. So I will come here, refresh. Yes. Now we have a email. Now we have a email. So then, so what is the difference between this and this? If you ask me, see here, this also can write. We can write anything, and type is equal to text. Also, we can write anything like this. So see here, in email also we can write all the things. But what is the difference? If you ask me, we will show the difference. Okay, we will show the difference. For that, we need to have one tag in order to see exactly how email tag will work. Okay, so this and all type text input. This is also type text input, and this is a drop down. Okay, but this is input type email, input type email, and now let's see. I will include one thing. Okay, go ahead, put another break, put the break two times, and now let me say input type is equal to email. Input type is equal to email. Okay, I'm very sorry, not email. Now I have to say submit. So what is the change in the input output, guys? Okay, this is input type submit I have given. So what is the change? What will you get for this line? If you give input type is equal to submit, will you be getting a normal input box or any other thing? Okay, just check out the output, guys. Everyone check out the output. What you will get for input time is equal to submit. Hmm? So if you look at the output there, so I will go here. If I refresh, just you will get one button. Correct, Soumya. That is submit button. Okay. So as I told, we have n number of varieties in form elements. Okay, n number of varieties in form elements. Okay, so why did I use this button now? As I told, in order to see, yes, correct, button is displaying, correct. So in order to see how this email works, we need a submit button. Why? If you ask me, see here, let's give random name. I'll say random name is equal to random guy, and second name is puzzle. Okay, so let it the date, month, year, let it be like that, and I will say the email is the email itself. Email for random guy is, let's say, email 667 or 668. Okay, so now press the submit button, guys. Okay, don't give full email address, anything. Okay, so anything you can give, but don't include at the rate of gmail.com. Just give one address, and 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 let it be like that, and hit submit. Tell me what it is showing. Very simple. Okay, until now we were not able to see how exactly type email input works. Okay, so now let's see how it will work, because as I told, without that particular without that particular submit button, we cannot know how exactly email will work. Correct. It is asking to include at. It is at the rate. So see here, if I click on the submit, see, please include at the rate email address. Okay, the email 88 is missing the at the rate. It is suggesting. Okay, I will include at the rate. Has, it is asking me, I will include that also. But if I hit submit, see, part, please enter the part following at the rate. That is, it is telling that this is not a correct format for the email address. Okay, after whatever it is necessary, give a necessary format. Whatever you want to add now, give a necessary format. That's what it is telling. So in that case, I will say what is the correct Gmail address. It should be at the rate and gmail.com. So now hit the submit button and tell me, are you able to submit the values? Are you able to submit the values or not. Look at the output correctly, guys. Okay, so if I hit submit now, yes, all values are disappearing from the page. All the values are disappearing from the page. That means what? It is getting submitted. Right now, we are not capturing its value. Okay, right now, whatever the value you give, so whatever the value you give, okay, so at rate gmail.com, anything. Okay, so I will say gmail.com. Okay, it won't work. Okay, that is, this all the values won't be captured anywhere. Why? Because we have just built a front end interface. That's why. Okay, we have just built a front end interface. We have not written any backend program in order to capture all this, and we have not written any database in order to store all these form values or store all this data which we have entered. Okay, that's why when I hit submit, just it is getting emptied. Okay, the values are vanishing because it is not we have not we are not retrieving it anywhere, and we have not maintaining the database in order to store these values. Okay, okay, so if I hit submit, it will just vanish. I hope you are also getting the same output. Okay, so email means if you don't give a correct format, it won't allow you to submit the form elements. Until you give a correct format, it won't allow, the form will not get submitted. How that is possible? You need to give input, and in the type section you need to give it as email. In this box you need to give email. Fine, fine. Okay, what's next now? So let me go here. See here, email ID, mobile number. Okay, now most important one is, after two breaks I will again have a input type is equal to, right now it is number, and br. Okay, that means after this input section I have put a two breaks so that it will push this submit button bit down. Okay, now, so tell me what is the difference now. Here I have given a type is equal to number. Here I have given the type is equal to email. Earlier it was a type is equal to text. So what is the difference between text, number, and email? So the difference between email and text we have seen. Now we have to see what is the difference between the number. So how the number is different from the others. So try out, guys, quickly. Go to the output, refresh the page, and then tell me how exactly it is working. Why we have, I'm giving input type is equal to number, because when you enter phone number, label is phone number, right? Label is phone number, that is when you enter phone number. Okay, so let's say phone num. When you want to enter phone number, obviously there will be no English alphabets. Okay, there will be no English alphabets. That's what I'm telling. It is in the phone number section, only the numbers should come. Okay, only the numbers should come. Okay, so let's see the output. I will save my file. Okay, come here, refresh the page. See, it looks similar, but if I move my mouse here, something is coming. It is a up and down arrow, right? If I move my mouse here, something is coming. It is up and down arrow. What is this? Let us try by clicking on it. So see, it is giving me a number. That is, if I click on the up arrow, the number go on increasing. If I click on the down arrow, number go on decreasing. Okay, so which arrow you touch or which arrow you give, okay, depend on that the number will increase or the number will decrease. And one more thing, if you just try typing any alphabets, if you try typing any alphabets, it will not support itself. That is, it will not take a input itself. It will not allow you to write any alphabets here. Only the number section is reserved for this particular fo- type number input box. Okay, only the numbers are included in this input. Getting getting. So just try out to type any alphabets. It will not work. Only it will allow you to enter the numbers, and it will not allow you to enter the special character also. Obviously, when there is a mobile number, you cannot what you cannot have a special characters in the number section. Exclamation mark, at the rate of, hash, dollar symbol, nothing is allowed inside the input tag of a number section. Fine, fine. So shall we proceed, guys? So this is about some of the form elements, that is type text, date of birth, and email and phone number. Okay, so what's next? So I will come back to this Visual Studio. Let's take a reference. And yes, now it's important, that is a gender section. Okay, it's a gender section. So what do we have in gender section? So normally you have to choose any one of a gender. Maybe it is male or female, or sometimes there will be another option called others. Okay, so normally gender will be having a three different options: male, female, and others. Okay, here they have given only male and female, and others we will add by ourselves. Okay, all right. Okay, so next let's see. So how to write others now then? See, the gender is also a label and male is also a label. For this label, we have to select. If you want to select male, select on this circle. If you want to select female, select on this circle. Okay, so it is indicating what is what. Okay, again, it is indicating means it is called a label. It has been, the label has been given to the form elements for this circle. Okay, so this particular circle itself is called a radio button. Okay, so this circle is called as a radio button. So now how to create this radio button is our question. How to create a radio button is our question. So go back. So first things first, I'll say label. Okay. Then what was the label? Gender is a label. So what are the genders? Let me write it one under the other. Okay. So under gender section, I need to have another label, and call that label as male. Call that label as male, and here I will say input type radio. Input type radio. Okay. So next, what is a next radio button? Again, we need to put a label. And what does the label means? The label is female. Label is female. And then input type radio. I will say input type radio. So now check out the output. Are you getting a radio button there? Huh? So see here, from that time, for all the things, from that time we are using the input tags almost everywhere. For almost all the section we are using a input tag, but only what we are changing is the type of the input tags we are changing. Okay, only we are changing the type of a input tag. If you get email, it will check for the email syntax. If you give type is equal to number, it will only accept a numbers. If you give type is equal to radio, it will create one radio button to you and give it to you. Fine. Okay. So let me go here. Label. So last one, we are going to include others. And let's say input type. This also should come under radio, and I will save. So now look at the output, guys. So are we getting a three radio button one after the other? Check it out now. Hmm? So are we able to get it? So that means what? That means what? So if I check out the output, if I refresh, yes. Okay. So we have forgot. I have forgot to put two break tags because I don't want the button to come in the same line. Okay. So in that case, I will come here, hit refresh. Yes. So now I have male, female, and others. Okay. So I will just apply one space here and here also before male. Save. So if I refresh, okay, that is fine. Okay. So after gender also I have not given male. All right. So here I will give one space, colon, and another space. so it will look bit good. So if I refresh, yeah, now it is fine. So now you can choose any one of a female, male, and others. So try clicking all of them. So click all of them. Is it working in a correct way, guys? Can you check it out? Is it working in a correct way? So what we want is we want to choose any one of the gender, right? We have to choose any one of the gender. But see, it is allowing us to click all the options. So look at your output and see, guys. See, it is allowing me to avail all the options. So is it a wrong way or right way? It should not allow me to enter any options, right? So yes, we need to correct it. We need to correct it. Okay. Again, there is a way in order to correct these things. Okay. And how? If you ask me, see here, come back to the code. So okay, you have three input or three radio buttons. So input type is equal to radio, input type is equal to radio, and another one in the same manner. Okay, come inside and give another one attribute to this. Okay, come inside the input tag and give another attribute. So what is that attribute? That is called name attribute, name property. It is also called name attribute. How does this work? Okay, so let me say I will give one name. What can I give, guys? Can you tell any favorite movies? First one who will comment, I will keep that name on that only. Okay, your favorite movie name? Let me see. So will it be a Telugu movie or Kannada or Tamil or English or Hindi? Which movie is your favorite? Comment down the name real quick. I will use that name for my name attribute. Okay, so the winner is Sangeeta. She is telling that Jailer is her favorite movie. Okay, second winner Gorla Shavani and Muskan. Okay, so next time if I need the movie name, I will include Jawan. Right now, the winner is Sangeeta. So everyone clap for Sangeeta. How you will clap? Not by joining two hands, by clicking the like button, you will clap in this section session. Okay, clapping and all it is not allowed. Okay, the surrounding will be disturbed. So you celebrate silently by clicking the like button. Go on and click the like button for today's session, guys. Right? So everyone click the like button, and it is not that only you have to click the like button. You can send your emoji also. How exactly you feel that I can see. Okay, the like button, just if you click it will go, but how exactly you are feeling inside, I want to see that. Normally, is it what shouting, is it just being happy, is it just being sitting there? Okay, based on that, send the emojis. Okay, all right, let's move into the next thing. Okay, So now again I will use the name, and I should use the same name, that is Taylor. And again I will come to the third one, use a same attribute, use a same attribute, that is name attribute, and I will give a same name jailer. Now check out the output. Now check out the output, guys. So are you able to give a multiple radio button at a time? Are you able to give a multiple radio button at a time, guys, or not? Are you able to give a multiple radio button or not? Now check out and check in your output fastly. No? Okay. So if I come here, refresh. Okay. So Snehitadu. Okay. You're a bit late. Okay. But I will consider it whenever I need the names of a movie. Okay. All right. Okay. She deleted the comment. Okay. No worries. See now. See if I click on the radio button. Now I have selected male. Okay. Now I have selected male. So next I will select female. Okay, I will select female. If I click on the female, the male will go. The what I have chosen, the first option, it will be empty, and next one, and if I choose others, only other will be selected. These two will be disselected. Those two will be disselected. Okay, so that's why what it will do, if you give a common name, if you give a name attribute, and if you give a same name for all the input, all the radios, this will be the case. That is, you will be able to select only one of them. Okay, so everyone check out the thing, guys. Okay, so now it is giving the correct input. So now let's proceed with the next element. Okay, we will proceed with the next element. Okay, Raja Rani also got deleted. Why? Let it be. Okay, it is not wrong that if you comment and if you delete and all. Okay, let it be there. No worries. All right. Okay. So next, see, if you want only one of it to select, this is a method. Name is equal to jailer. Name is equal to jailer. That is, in my case, I have given a jailer as a name. In your case, you can give any name. Okay, you can give any name, but same name should be given to all the attributes, all the radio inputs. Okay, this is a step in order to create a radio button where you can choose only one. Fine. Okay, next, what is that? Okay, so here now you have to choose address. Okay, you have to choose address. So what is the address? So again, let's say label. So what happened here? Okay, so I will come here, enter, Let me say label. Okay, so I will come little down. Now I will type label and I will say address. Okay, so this and and if you look here, this is not a input box, right? This is not a regular input box, correct? If you see here, this is not a regular input box. You have a bigger one, bigger section compared to the these input boxes. Okay, so in order to create this bigger section, we have another tag called text area. Okay, if you want to create a normal text input box, it is the input tag. If you want to create a normal input boxes, it is the input tag. Or if you want to have a big section like this, it is text area. It is text area. So come here. Okay, so text area, it is a tag and it is not a singleton tag. Until here, input tag is a singleton tag, right? You were not closing the tag itself. You were not closing the tag. It is a input tag. Okay, that is single tag. So now I am talking about a text area. So I will say here come below and I will type text area has a tag. Okay, text area has a tag. So now look at the output, guys. Are you getting a different box or not? Hmm? Check it out quickly. So what is the difference between the text area? What is the difference between the text area and normal input box? Fine, guys. Okay, so text area. So I will come here. If I refresh, okay, I have forgot to give a br tag here. Save. If I refresh, yes. See the break tag. Okay, so see here, this is completely different. Okay, so this is completely different. So this is a normal input box and it can be extend up to any length. Why? Because normally address will be having one or two or sometimes three lines of address. It is possible, right, to have a bigger address. For that purpose, we have a we have a we have a text area, the different kind of input box. Okay, and the tag name is text area, and here you will not be using a input tag, a completely different tag, that is text area, because we don't know how much big of a address is there. So depend on how much lengthy address is there, we can make space for it. Getting getting, guys, everyone? Okay, all right. So if you're getting the correct output, just what mention your attendance, guys. Please do mention your attendance. mention your attends everyone. Okay, keep your registered name. All right. Okay. So if I refresh, so what is the next one? It is city, pin code, state, and country. While you at it, while you complete this address, create these four things: city, pin code, state, and country. City, pin code, state, and country. Please do create all these things. Okay, so similarly, what was the first one? City. Come to your Visual Studio. After two breaks, after the text area, label. So, what is it actually? The label should be city. It is indicating you need to enter the city. Okay, so now input type text. City can be any alphabets or any English alphabets. So break. Okay, so like that only. Again label. Okay, so this time I think what is it? Pin code. After state, it is pin code. Okay, and then input type is equal to text. Okay, is this correct? For pin code, input is equal to type or number, guys. So what you will be entering in pin code, all the characters should be number. So we need to give input type is equal to number itself. Okay, input type is equal to, it should be number itself. Okay, yes. So correct. So I will say input type number because it should not allow any other characters or alphabets to come in that section. On the number should come. And then label. So then I think it was state. Okay. So afterwards input type is equal to text, and again I will copy paste the breaks, and at last label, and it is country, and input type is equal to text. Okay, then big tag, paste, save. So if you come here, if you refresh, yes, we got everything. Okay, and in pin code check, you cannot type any alphabets, only numbers should come. Okay, it should work like that. Fine. Okay, until this, keep it like that only, guys. Okay, until here, keep it like that. Next we will do these things. See, hobbies, we have to keep these things: drawing, singing, and that is the another type of input box. And see here how these input box are aligned themselves. Okay, so according to this alignment we need to create the input boxes. Those things we will do it in the next session. Okay, if you are willing, please do try it by yourself. Okay, try it by yourself once, do some trial and error, do some researches. If you didn't get miss, fine. If you get also, fine. Anyway, we will be solving with that in the next session itself. Okay, so for today, until here is more than enough. I hope this is uh, it is very important, and I hope this has helped for you in learning a web technology. Okay, okay, guys. So I will be ending the session now itself. Okay, so until next class, take care, everyone. See you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.